I told my girlfriend, no. My girlfriend and I have been dating for a few months and we've gotten into a few fights already. Apart from these fights, it's been a great relationship so far that neither of us can go a day without talking to each other. We're always planning to spend time together and I've found that all of my free time usually is spent with her. I am giving a tremendous amount of effort to make this work because I really love her, but I am afraid that she might be taking things for granted. With that for context, we've had a few bad fights that is really making me reconsider if we're really compatible. From my perspective, I feel like I do a lot for her to show her that I care for her and am making a great effort to be a good boyfriend. For example, I took her on a week-long road trip to Miami for her birthday and it was the first time I've ever booked a suite because I wanted it to be special since it's the first time we're celebrating a birthday together. Made a couple reservations on her actual birthday, only doing what she wanted to do because this trip was all about her. And the day we were supposed to leave, we got into a mini fight after she asked if I could help her pack her things since I finished packing already and was relaxing. I told her that I was really tired but ultimately gave in to help her. We had a small talk about it afterwards and I expressed to her that she simply requests too many things from me sometimes and that I have a limit. We settled it with a mission to work on our communication, and when I am feeling overwhelmed by her requests, I will let her know and she will tone them down. No biggie, right? The next fight we had was a couple weeks after when we were both hanging out at my place and after a long day and she asked me to go downstairs to get her a glass of water. A small request that I should have no problem with. However, I felt extremely tired this time, and although I usually get her a glass of water whenever she asks, I asked if she could get the water for herself this time as she knows where everything is and I have no roommates, so there shouldn't be any problems. We both ended up just falling asleep for a couple hours. I woke up because I had to use the bathroom, and during this time when I got up, she asked again for the glass of water. Since I was already up, I went to get the glass and brought it up to her. After I handed it to her, I dropped back down to bed, exhausted and wanting to go back to sleep right away. She finished drinking and touched my arm with the glass, indicating that she wanted me to put it down on the ground for her. I was so tired I didn't want to, so I ignored it. This made her mad, so she touched my arm again with a grunt kind of. I got annoyed at this, so I blurted out, "I'm good, bro." This made her livid and we started fighting until I apologized for saying what I said, and I hoped that was the end of it. I also want to note that we were on good terms the times in between these fights. Everything goes smoothly until I refuse to do one of her requests. The next fight we had was when we got home again after a long day of doing stuff and she was so sleepy she went straight to my bed without brushing or putting on her retainer. She needs to put this on nightly because she got Invisalign. I tried to convince her to brush together before we got into bed, but she's very hard to get up when she's already down. So I went to brush without her and got ready for bed. When I was done, I didn't want to just let her sleep without putting her retainer on. So I tried to get her up and felt I was annoying her, but it worked. She got up and went to brush as I laid down in bed cause I was tired. She normally likes it when I stand behind her when she brushes so she can feel my presence. And she requested it again this time. I usually say yes, but this time I was really tired, so I told her to just please brush on her own and join me in bed. After she's done, the sooner she finishes the sooner we can be physically together again. The bathroom is attached to my bedroom, so I was literally like 10 feet away from her. She got really upset and refused to brush until I got up and stand next to her. I told her she was being ridiculous and this made her more mad. So she sat there on my toilet for what seems like the next half hour while I stayed in bed. She eventually got it done and joined me in bed, and we both just let it go in the morning. We were good for a little bit. Until the other day when I was working in DC and decided to get a drink with an old friend after work. During this time, she asked if her and her friend can crash at my place for a little bit. I let them use my place to hang out while I was out and was excited to see her when I got back. We got to hang out for a little bit with her friend too, and when she had to go, she offered to take my girlfriend home so that I don't have to drive out and come back home as they live near each other. Everyone agreed it was a good idea. I took advantage of this by getting ready for bed early because I had work again the next day in the office. I was already in bed when she got home and she wanted to call me to say good night. I answered her call right away with enthusiasm and was ready to have a nice good night call and go to bed. That is until she asked if we could FaceTime instead. I nicely told her that I did not want to because I would have to get up from bed, turn on the lights which would disturb my sleep, and that I was really tired and if we can just say good night over the phone. She got really mad that I was refusing to get on FaceTime and angrily said, "Well, I don't want to just talk to nothing, so I guess good night." To which I said, "Alright, good night," and she hung up. The next day I texted her first in hopes that she wasn't still mad, but she made it obvious with her one-word replies. She had plans to see her friend that night, so she said, "I'll be busy, so I'll talk to you later." Which is fine, I gave her that space. The following day we had plans the whole day, and it was supposed to be another date night I planned for us and got us tickets for to this pottery painting thing. The plan was for me to pick her up from her friend's place, which is like a 40-minute drive. So I texted her first thing in the morning to let me know when she would like me to come so that I can prepare. She didn't reply for a couple of hours, and then she finally said that she was going to just metro home and stay home for the day. This made me pretty upset because I was just waiting around all morning for her since I promised her I would pick her up. I let my emotions take over me and I asked if she was just going to forget about all our plans today, to which she got really angry with me and said that she never planned on skipping out on the date. But if I was going to have this nasty attitude, we might as well. We didn't fix things in time before the time of the event, so the tickets went to waste. So now it's the next day and we're still going back and forth with how I feel like I am doing so much for her, but it's never enough. And the moment I say no to one of her requests, she gets angry and it blows up into a big thing. She says that she appreciates everything I do, but if I can't do these simple asks, then I am not even doing the bare minimum as a boyfriend. I just can't seem to see her side or agree with her because I feel like I am doing so much for her. I dedicate all my free time to spend with her. I pay for mostly everything, and even drive her to DC multiple times just so she can hang out with her friends safely, so she doesn't have to metro while I wait for her to be done and take her home. And because I said no a few times to requests that I think are a little bit silly and unnecessary, she's accusing me of not doing the bare minimum. I really want this to work, and if it's me, why do I feel burnt out by all her requests? Am I just a bad boyfriend? Thanks in advance for any advice.